How's it going, everybody? It is Charlie here, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Just got back from Elland Road after an opening day game that didn't quite go to plan, did it? Obviously, Leeds United drawing 2-2 with Cardiff City after a late Crysencio Somerville equaliser sees Leeds come from 2-0 down to snatch a point at Elland Road. Just before we get into this video in more detail, as always, please smash that like button. It really does help get the video out there. Please subscribe if you are brand new. I know that there's a lot of you who watch on a regular basis who haven't subscribed. Please subscribe if you are brand new so I can try and get to 3K as soon as possible. Hit that notification bell so that you're always aware of when I'm uploading and going live. And of course, get all of your comments in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts after that 2-2 draw with Cardiff? Firstly, let's just speak about the lineup. As predicted in my predicted 11 the other night, the back four was exactly as I thought Farker would go, even though, as I'll get into in a little bit, I think it was the wrong choice. Obviously, Luke Ayling, Liam Cooper, Pascal Struijk, and Leo Hjelde, three left footers in the back four. It just doesn't make any sense to me when you've got Charlie Cresswell on the bench, who is a right footer and a right footed centre back. He should have started with Cooper, in my opinion. But hey ho. Archie Gray, Ethan Ampadu, as expected, and the front four was pretty much as expected as well. With Willie Gnonto appearing to be starting as the number 9 in the team. And yeah, look, I had a look at the Cardiff City lineup. I'd never heard of any of them apart from Callum Grant and Aaron Ramsey. I was looking at it, I was feeling confident. I thought, yeah, Leeds have got injuries and maybe the squad isn't what it should be at this point, but I still felt that we had enough to get this win. And even in the opening stages of the game, I thought Leeds were dominant. We had a lot more of the ball. We were limiting Cardiff's attacks. Few decent chances early on, which, were unlucky not to have gone in the back of the net. But then the same old frailties from last season kicked in, where defensively we are in absolute shambles. Look, there's some things that I'll say in this review, guys, where I think a lot of us, myself included, were a little bit naive thinking that this division was going to be maybe easier than we first, easier than we may have thought. But then this game has just brought us all a bit down to earth a little bit and just made us realise, this division is difficult. There are teams in there who aren't great teams, but will find a way to get a point. Cardiff are absolute garbage. They were awful today, but they still came to Elland Road. They scored 2 goals and they got a point from the game. Now, the first goal from Luke Ayling is nothing short of embarrassing. I was listening to Connor at One Leeds, his stream that he did after the game on the way home in the car, and he hit the nail on the head with Luke Ayling. It was a disaster class from him in that first half. The guy cannot defend, can't defend, no positional awareness at right back anymore for me, and just isn't it at right back anymore. Been a great servant of the club. He's had some really good days and really good games and brilliant moments for Leeds United, but the guy just can't do it for me anymore. And that first goal isn't all down to Luke Ayling. The midfield was just non-existent. There was no one tracking back. I think it was Josh Bowler who scored for Cardiff, and he had 2 bites of it to get it in that net, and there was no one around him closing him down quick enough, and that's what ultimately led to them going a goal up. Now, I must admit, at that point, I thought, right, yeah, it was bad, but I thought that has to be a fluke. I thought Leeds were still the better team at that point. Again, even after that opening goal, Leeds having a lot more of the ball, but not really doing much with it. Dan James, for me, had a bit of an up and down game. There was moments where I thought he was bright and he looked, he looked active and he looked at it. But the end product's still not there. I thought decision making was very poor. Hjelde on that side with him. Obviously, he gets done out for the second goal, and that's what ultimately led to him being substituted at half time. Didn't think he had a great game either. I actually thought Hjelde would have had a decent enough game. I thought in pre-season he was playing at left back, but he was inverting a little bit. He was looking all right. But today he had a bit of a nightmare in that first half. Cooper, yes, he equalises. But I thought in the first half, again, a little bit too safe with his passing. No crossfield balls. There was no risks being taken for me. And Pascal Struijk, it has the strength of a wet lettuce. No pace about him. Again, sideways passing all the time. Always just giving it to Ampadu and letting Ampadu dictate and not taking a risk himself. So overall, in that first half, I thought the defence was abysmal. Obviously, they scored the second goal, as I said, Leo Hjelde, completely done with a 1-2. So easy for him to get round him. And then obviously the finish, could Luke Ayling have done better to prevent that goal? Possibly. But it ended up in the back of the net and it's 2-0 Cardiff. And their fans were going absolutely mental. It was like it was their playoff final. They were singing the Welsh national anthem as well, which I thought was a bit strange. But anyway, you could see how much it meant to them. They were giving us a bit of stick in the South Stand, which fair play. I think we'd have done the exact same thing in their position. And it was just a massive feeling of we're back, but not in a good way. And at half time, it was a rather weird atmosphere in the ground. Obviously, I was speaking to my uncle at half time. He was spitting blood with them, and rightly so. I'd go as far as to say it was a bit of a disgrace, was that first half, in terms of how we defended. In every team, you should build from the back. Leeds United have too much quality going forward, which isn't a bad thing. But at the back, we've got the odd player that can do a job, but no proper seasoned championship defenders or players that can come in who are good defenders who can do well in this league. I saw a tweet this morning that apparently Leeds are in advanced talks with Liverpool for Nat Phillips. I really hope that that's true. Yes, it's 10 million quid, which people might, sniff their noses up at, but I don't care. 10 million quid for a centre-back that's had decent exposure at first-team level at Liverpool. He's played briefly in the Champions League. He's got good experience. Get him in. Good defender. Pay the fee and get it done. There's Glenn Kamara at Rangers, who I bumped into someone outside the ground at the Briley Bremner statue pre-game, who said that he is a Rangers fan and that he'd watch my channel. So if you're watching, it was good to meet you, pal. And he was saying about Glenn Kamara that he would be a very good signing for Leeds in midfield. Again, I think the Rangers manager has said that we should be hearing something about him over the next few days regarding where he's going to. Hopefully it's us. I think the fee's only about 4 or 5 million. Pay it, get him in. Good midfielder. And number 10 as well. I watched the Leicester Coventry game briefly earlier on. Gustavo Hamer in that number 10 was really good today. Yes, they lost the game, but I thought he was really, really good. I think that he would be perfect for the Daniel Farke system. A left back, yeah, Sam Byram came on in the second half and did okay. But again, we don't need okay. It needs to be proper left backs that can motor up and down that pitch and that can defend as well. Cody Drame, as soon as he's back fit, should go at right back for me rather than Luke Ayling. For Crysencio Somerville, was arguably the best player on the pitch. I thought Cardiff couldn't get near him. The ball was just sticking to his feet. Really good finish for the equaliser as well. It is a difficult finish to attempt, is that? I think Phil Hay said that on a tweet as well. It is right. But he got it in, and that's all well and good. Sinistera, I thought, was okay. I think again he's a player that we expect a lot more from. But I think maybe it was just sharpening up his fitness a bit today as well. Nyonto I thought looked better than what he has done in pre-season. He was fighting for everything. He was definitely putting himself about. So yeah, encouraging. Ampadu, really, really good in midfield, I thought as well. And Archie Gray, 17 years old, didn't look out of place at all. He looked like he'd been playing in the Championship for a while. Yeah, not the complete perfect performance from him, but I thought it was a very, very solid debut. And I think he'll play a huge part in this season for Leeds. Plenty of positives, though. Like I said, I felt we kept the ball well in that second half. We dominated the second half completely. I don't think Melier had anything to do really in that second half. But again, guys, the old guard, as everyone calls them, the likes of Cooper, Ayling. Cooper's had that offer from, is it Saudi or Qatar? I think someone in the stands today was saying that offer's worth 200 grand a week. Would we begrudge Liam Cooper a move? Probably not. I think his days at Leeds are numbered. Obviously, he gets injured again, as he always does. He always picks up an injury at some point, and he's picked it up on the first game of the season, for God's sake. Get a centre back in, get a left back, get a midfielder, a number 10, a striker, for God's sake. Get a striker in. The amount of chances we were having in that second half, where if there's a number 9 there who knows what areas of the box to be in, like a Yol Perot at Swansea, he's my dream signing. Dream signing at number 9. Get the guy in. Please pay the fee, whatever it is, just pay it and get him in. Because if a team in this league like a Leicester or Southampton get him in, then they win the league for me. If we can get him in, plus the additions that we need, Leeds could maybe win this league or at least get automatic promotion. We're a long, long way off being the finished article. And I think today has brought a lot of fans back down to earth again and realised how hard this league is going to be. Look, I'm not saying that Leeds can't finish automatic. I'm not saying Leeds can't at least get playoffs. But if this squad isn't improved drastically over the next 3 or 4 weeks, maybe it might end up just securing playoffs or even just outside of it. I will go as far as to say that I had Leeds down to finish second in my predictions, but that was obviously pending all of the transfer business that we will hopefully do. I think Parag Marate was at the game today along with some other investors from the 49ers. Hopefully they see that today and hear Farke's comments post-game saying that apart from the goalkeepers, we need to strengthen in every area. So hopefully this makes them pull the finger out of their asses and get some signings through the door urgently. Shrewsbury Town up next in the Cup on Wednesday, which will hopefully give a lot of players some decent minutes. Hopefully that can be a bit of a momentum builder. And then Birmingham away next Saturday at St Andrews. That'll be a tough place for us to go. Obviously, they got a 1-1 draw with Swansea over the weekend. So yeah, as I say, guys, it is only the first game of a 46-game season, so there's no need to get too carried away and too panicky at the minute. But we really need to see some signings through the door because, especially at the back, we need to build from the back because that defence in the first half was shocking. So yeah, content over the next few days, guys. The last say will be back tomorrow night where we'll go a little bit more in depth on today's game with Cardiff and get all your thoughts instant on the live stream as well. There'll be a match preview ahead of Shrewsbury on Tuesday, followed by other post-Shrewsbury and then pre-Birmingham content throughout the week as well. And hopefully, if we hear some news regarding signings, there'll be some shorts and quick uploads on the channel as well. So basically what I'm saying is plenty of content coming over the coming days, guys. So make sure that you are subscribed if you haven't already. Please help me get to 3K as soon as possible. And on your way out, please smash that like button. It really does help get the video out there. And drop all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I'll see you tomorrow night for the last say. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.